when you talk about some knives, they're so well known, so legendary, they almost don't need an introduction. And in the world of pocket knives, the RAT-1 or the Ontario Model 1 is one of those knives, I think. It's so iconic. It's so beloved. I would say it has such a fan base. It's kind of like, I would almost liken it to being kind of the Glock of the pocket knife world. It's a no frills, not fancy, but incredibly reliable and dependent blade. And I've been using the RAT for, 15 at least, if not 17 years. And I've gone through a bunch of these. It's not even that they break, but I've lost them or I've given them away or for whatever reason. I've gone through several of them, but I always come back because they're so dependable. Now, this one is really cool. So, well, first of all, let's get into the history. The Model 1, the RAT-1, right? It got its name because Randall's Adventure Training, which if you look at this logo here, we can't pick that up. Randall's Adventure Training, the acronym RAT, is a survival school, and they teamed up with Ontario Knives to design a couple of different models of knife that they like to use in their survival school. And this folder was one of them. And it's basically the shape of, there's a fixed blade version of this called a RAT-3, and it's essentially that same shape, ergonometry, but it's in a folder. Now that Randall, they ended up leaving their partnership with Ontario, and he actually founded SE Knives. So if you know anything about knives, I'm sure you've heard of SE Knives. And if you look at the shape of those knives, they are very similar to this folder. And so actually, fun fact, the U.S. Air Force, for their survival school, they're SEER instructors, right? SEER is another acronym. It stands for survival, I think it's survival, evasion, resistance, and escape. Anyways, their survival school for their pilots. They standard issue SE4s, which is basically this knife, but in a fixed blade platform instead of a folder. And so it's such a bulletproof shape and design that is so reliable. And I can attest to that from years and years of using it. I've spent countless hours out in the woods, and the ironic thing is, I was actually talking to my dad about this, I think I've used this more than any other knife for doing bushcraft or outdoor survival stuff because, I always have this on me and I always pull it out. So if I'm out in the woods hiking, I may have my, whatever knife in my backpack or on my belt, but this is the one I always grab. So this one has gotten the most field time out of any knife I own just because of it being on my belt. And it's one of those things, like I said, this knife is a no frills thing. It's very simple. It's a liner lock folder, right? You just try to do this with the wrong hand, but fold it over just like that. It folds up nice and neat. This one's got the green scales with the polished stainless steel blade. They all have stainless steel. The steel comes in two different types. You can get the AUS 8, which is this, or D2. I have the D2. Both are great. The D2 is a little bit nicer, obviously, because D2 is a great steel. But the AUS 8 is by no means a bad steel. They recently brought back the old logo. So RAT, the first knives that they made of these had the Randall Adventure Training logo. It looked a little bit different than this, but then they got rid of it and they had the Ontario logo. And then recently I noticed this, they brought it back. So that's why I bought this brand new one. I wanted it with the old logo on it. I kind of like it. It's cool. And then on this side, they put, geez, I can't pick this up, the Ontario Knife Company logo, 1889 Taiwan, which I think looks much cleaner. I really like that. Comes with a standard simple little clip right here. That's it. That's pretty much it. This style, like I said, this knife has seen more use in my hands than any other knife, and I love it. It's to the point where if I have anything else on me, I feel naked. I feel like I'm missing out. I love this knife so much, and they're cheap, dude. They're like 30, 40 bucks, brand new. That is dirt cheap in the knife world, and it's not even that it's low quality. It's just affordable. And you can trick these out. You can buy custom scales for these if you want. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. There's different thumb studs you can get. Some people do that because you can unscrew these. It's not picking up, but you can actually unscrew these and replace them with different studs. They're so the community for these is so out there as far as modding, like a Glock. Like I said, there's so many different stuff you can do with them that I just can't recommend them enough. And I have a whole philosophy about knives, which is that survival knives, as cool as they are, and it's not that they're not effective, but the survival knife mentality, I think, is flawed in the sense that most people get, well, they're not around really much, but a Bear Grylls knife, right? You get a Bear Grylls knife and you use that as your survival knife, in air quotes. The problem with that philosophy is, what's the likelihood of you having that on your person when you're in a scenario? Not very likely. What's more likely? That you're going to have a pocket knife on you. So wouldn't it make more sense, if you're doing survival training, to use the tool that you're going to have on you at all times? And I can say from experience, I have used this to the fullest capabilities. I know its limitations, I know its strengths, and its strengths far outweigh its limitations. So much so that this is my favorite knife and always will be. At least 15 years, most likely more, of this model knife, and I have no intention of ever changing it up. It's so reliable, so dependable, so fantastic that I can't recommend it enough. Like I said, go get yourself one of these. They come in all different kinds. You can get black blades, black scales, loads of different colors. They even make one, I don't have it, but it's an automatic. It deploys on its own. Man, that's cool. They make smaller versions called a Model 2. Fantastic, you guys. Go get yourself one of these RAT-1s. I can't recommend it enough. Like I said, fits my hand. I've got a big hand. Yes, it's a big pocket knife. In the world of pocket knives, it is large. But I'm so used to it. It doesn't even bother me. And I can't, again, I love this knife. Fantastic. Go pick yourself up a RAT Model 1 and you won't regret it. So anyway, that's all I have to say. And I'll talk to you guys later. God bless you guys. Bye-bye.